Hi guys, Esther here, and I'm back for another video with Lowland Kids. In this video, I'm going to talk you through sewing up the reversible swim top. I already did the reversible swim bottoms in a separate video, so you can find that under the Lowland Kids YouTube channel, of course. And in this one, I'll sew up the top that goes with it into a cute little set. Having sewn up the bottoms already, I was pretty confident with doing the top because it's a similar technique. You're using similar fabrics, you know, that swim, stretch, lycra, and you're using a zigzag stitch. You can use elastic if you like. And once you get a bit of practice with these techniques, you feel a bit more confident in doing them. So I hope that's the case for you. I'll talk you through step by step how to sew these up. So let's get started.
So these are the views here, and there's a cropped version and a slightly longer version, and they both have that cute little tie at the back, but the longer version has an optional additional tie a bit further up, and that's to prevent some gaping that can happen in the armhole, but I just didn't find that with mine. Obviously, if you're making swimmers, you will need swim fabric, which is usually a lycra or a nylon. I used this, and I also used a slightly looser gingham. And because the top is reversible, you'll be able to see both sides. These are my pieces all cut up, and we're going to start with the shoulder seams. Make sure the right sides of your fabric are together and that you're stitching using a zigzag stitch or a serger, something that can handle stretch. Now your top should look like this, and we're going to place the right sides of our tops together. Once they're together, you can see that we're going to sew around each of the armholes. Again, you should be using a stretch stitch, so make sure for pretty much every step along this tutorial, I'm using a zigzag stitch, and the only time we use a straight stitch is at the very end. Now it should look like this, and if you lay your top out in the same position that mine is, we're going to start stitching from this side and sew all around where my finger is tracing and finish on the same spot on the other side of the tie. Once that's sewn, we need to reach inside and pull the ties all the way out so that basically your garment is the right way out. If you have one of those tools that helps with turning out garments, then that would be very handy, but I don't have one. So I just had to use my fingers and manipulate the fabric to turn everything the right way out. Just take your time and it will happen. Once your top is the right way out, we're going to sew the side seams. So make sure that you put the side seams of the same fabric together. So for me, I'm putting the side seams of my print fabric together. And then as I stretch that along, it will also continue to put the side seams of my gingham side together as well in one continuous line. That's the line that we're going to sew now. Once sewn, it should look like this. And you can repeat the same process to do the other side seam. The last thing to do is finish off the hem. I'll show you what this looks like with my print side of fabric facing up. I'm going to fold the straps in towards the center, and then I'm going to essentially move all of the fabric in towards the middle so that it sandwiches in between my print fabric and my gingham fabric. I can take the side seams of both my gingham fabric and the side seams of my print fabric and put them together, because now we're going to sew all the way down this line except for about an inch on one side so that we can turn everything out the right way later. This technique is sometimes called the burrito method because once you've sewn it, it sort of looks like it's all wrapped up like a burrito. Now we can use that inch gap that we left before to turn everything out the right way. And the last step is to sew the opening closed. You have a few options for how to do this. You can hand stitch using a ladder stitch, or if you don't mind the stitches showing, you can simply use the straight stitch on your machine. Otherwise, the way that I finished my little gap is by top stitching, because I used my zigzag stitch to top stitch around the entire garment. So it's a little tricky to see because I used prints, but you can see that little zigzag around all of the edges is just a top stitch that goes around every single edge. So you can do that too if you like that finish. Give it a good press when you're finished, and that'll help the seams to sit a bit flatter. I do find that they bunch up a little bit because I was probably pulling it through my machine a bit and it might have stretched out the seams, but because it's a swimsuit, it's going to be stretched when it's on, so it really shouldn't show anything when the garment's being worn. And that's it, the top is complete.
So there we go. I hope that this helped. I hope that this video was helpful for you. It turned out to be such a cute set, and I'm really impressed with how these makes keep turning out. And I sound so surprised every time, and I shouldn't be, because the Lowland patterns and the instructions make it very doable, very easy, even for beginners, to follow along and get these projects done. Let me know if you had any questions or got stuck on anything in the comments, and the team will do their best to get back to you. There is a great Facebook group where you can also post questions or your makes, or just get inspiration as well. So jump on Facebook and look up the Lowland Kids Sewing Thread. I get lots of posts in my feed of what others are making, and it's always really inspiring and really encouraging to see everyone getting out their machines and having a go. You can find us on Instagram, so make sure that you tag us in any of your makes, and I will see you in another video soon.